So Diksha, like in yesterday's session, we'll discuss there is like multiple options when we are like selecting or dealing with the ASP.NET web application. So in the yesterday session, we selected the web form. So this web form basically provide us the default pages, home, contact, and about, or some template as well. Okay. So if you want some basic coding, then we can select the web forms. Otherwise, for the if you want to start any project from the scratch and you want to do everything by your own hands, then we can select this empty application. Okay, so this time I'm selecting the empty application so that we can create come to know how to add a new pages and what is the default code for the any fresh page. All right. Okay. So so now see, you can see, so in the last project, there are a couple of folders and files as well. But in case of empty, so we just have just two or the default files. We can say the package configuration and the web config file. Okay, the web config is the same one, like this. So we have like just limited or configuration. So this configuration is basically saying we are using a runtime for framework is 4.5. And this is the package configuration. It's empty, we can say right now. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to create one default page. We'll say add new item. So here we have ASPX page. It's basically called web form. This is a master. Say user control. Yeah, this is this one, web form. So we have the two options, web form and web form with the master page. So right now we will like we'll start with the only the web form. So I'm giving this page name as default. Yeah. So this is the default page, or we can say this is our landing page or home page. We can give name it. We can provide a name to this page as a default.aspx, or we can also give index.aspx. So this default and index is basically the default page for our application, for ASP.NET application. Okay, and let me go inside the properties. This is a web. Okay. It's not picking by default. Okay, no issues. Okay. So this is our like the default page, default.aspx. Okay. And this is a design view. So we do not have anything inside this default page. So this is, let me explain this part. The very first line is basically, it's saying we have language for this page is C sharp, because .NET is, we can use C sharp and VB.NET as well as a programming language. So for this page we are using C sharp as well. And this annotation or this attribute is basically telling us if this is the designing page for the code, behind logic, we are using default.aspx.cs file. This is, we can see it here, this one. So whatever the logic we want to design for this default page, we can write inside .cs file. Okay, so this is a event, a lifecycle page event, that is page load. We'll discuss what is page load and how we can use this page load. Okay, and the next one is the HTML part. This is the all HTML part. So here we have like the header section, and this is the body part, and this is the form part. So if you so here you can see this is, we are saying run at server. This is very important. When we are saying run at server, means to say we whatever the post back means to say the request response cycle we discussed in yesterday, means if we design any form, let's say name, then text box, address, then text box, then we are saying submit. When we click on this, so request, this is a client. Client means to say the browser, any browser. When we click on this, whatever the data inside these controls will get submitted to server. Okay, so these all controls supposed to be inside a form. So this is a form. So this form is basically, we can say when we are writing run at server, means to say it's basically execute on server side. Okay. Okay. Now let me create a small form. Now we are going to use the mixed like HTML and server side controls as well. I'm going to create a table here. String name. Name, address, age, and one more row. So this is the view. Name, address, and age. Now I want like parallel to name, I want a text box, then address, then age, then finally a submit button. So we can use this toolbox. So here we have like control, that is the text box. This one, you just need to drag and just drop it. So we have like the text box here. Okay, let's save this page, and we are going back on source. We can see this the code for this text box. So again, it's not a HTML control, that this is ASP.NET control. So it's start with the ASP. right? What type of control it is? It is a text box. This is the unique ID for the text box. And this is again,
And
it's,
you know it
yes,
is running on server.
yeah,
Right.
it's again running at server side. Okay. Yeah, so this is the ASP.NET control, not the HTML or any HTML standard control. So as compared, we can also create text box using HTML, but uh, right now we are creating server side control. Okay, this is the text box. We can use multi-line text box as well. Okay, I'm using a text box. Okay, so each for age as well. And for submit, we need use this button. I just drag and drop submit. Okay. When we again look into the source part, we can see the text box 1, text box 2, text box 3, and for the ID button is button 1. So this is not the we can say the good practice to provide this the IDs like this. We or this is like the default IDs. So we can use property window to change the further data of any control. So just right click, say properties, or you can see the property window here as well. So now you can see these properties. These properties on all we can say the properties related to one control only. So right now we are on text box 1. So first I need to change this the text box 1 ID to a logical name. So we have here the ID. So we can change it to txt name, right? So here you can see now it's txt name. In the source as well, you can see the ID is txt name. Okay. And we want to, want to give some background, means to say some cosmetic changes to this view. This control, we can use these properties, a back color, a border color, or particulars. If we have any CSS class, we can directly provide that CSS class here. All the changes will be applied on this. So we'll do this, check these properties as well. So right now I'm just checking like one is the name, and second I want to change uh, that is a tooltip. Yeah, tooltip is saying enter name. The tooltip is like when we execute as someone just move the mouse on the control. So a small tip will be there. It will say enter the name. Say enter name. Yeah, this one. Just two properties we just right now uh, change it. For the second text box, again I want to first change this ID, txt address, and I want to use, yeah. So for address, I need to give like option to add multiple lines. In the first name, we supposed to add whatever the name in a single line only, but in address can be in multiple line. So I want to change the mode of this text to single line to multi-line, right? So when I change this property, you can see the appearance of this control is getting changed. So you can drag as per the need. Okay, even you can also drag for this one. When we are like dragging this, so here you can see there are some changes in height, width, you know. So the in case of address, the height is blank. When I drag this, so you can see now the width is 180 pixel. Okay, so we can give the similar width to each control so that it will like look symmetrical. Yeah, 80 pixel. Yeah, that's it. And yeah, for age, txt age. Yeah, that's a single line. I can say enter number only. Yes. Okay. Same properties for button as well. We can change this btn submit and okay, let's change the color, back color to, let's say this. Okay, I'm going to save it. Right now we just check the output only. So when I execute this, so this is the output. So this is a name. So when just I move the mouse, so here we having like a tip, like enter name. When I'm over the mouse on age, so it's saying enter number only. So this is the tooltip. And in name, let's say I have like entered Smith, address, street number 2. So we change this mode for the text box to single line to from single line to multi-line.
Mhm.
So yeah, so now we can add multiple lines as well.
Okay.
US, yeah. Okay, for age, we can enter, characters as well. Tip is just only giving the information, but it's not restricting me or restricting the end user to enter any character inside the user can add ABC. But on submission, we can apply the validation rule, okay, and saying this is not a valid
Okay.
input or something. Okay,
Okay.
right now I just say 12 or 25. Okay, just you need to just observe now. So when I click on this submit button, you see some flickering on this page.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So this
Yeah,
is
that is
this. Yeah, this is basically we are sending request to server. Right now my system is client and my system is a server,
mm,
right? So it's like sending request to server. So on server side, which code basically going to handle this request from client side? So it will
in
handle by .cs
CS.
file, CS
Yeah.
file.
Mm.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so this is like the page load event. Page load event means to say when I said when we said execute this page.
Mm.
Okay, so when this page get loads on the client system, then this event get executed, page load event. Okay, let's say let's say I have one more row in starting. Okay, let me say call span. I want to merge two columns into one. Okay. And again, I'm taking one new control that is label. Yeah, this is the label. And I'm going to change the property to LBL info. This is the label ID LBL info. And I'm removing the default text that is label. I'm removing it. Okay, let it be default text there right now. So now I want to change the text of this label when on the page load. Means to say when this page gets load on the client machine, then I want to say welcome to my application. Okay, so we can do this in page load event. Okay, so why we are like giving this ID? So we can use this ID to access this
To
label inside this CS file. Okay, and the
ensure that
second,
you are
right, and then when we are saying run at server, then only this label is accessible inside the CS file. Okay, now I'm saying LBL
yeah.
info. So now we are going to change its property. These all are the properties for the label. We can access all these properties or manipulate these properties inside CS file as well using a dot operator. Dot. Right now I'm saying text. Text equals to whatever the text we
Equal
want to
to
give. Yeah. Welcome to my application app. Yeah. Okay. So the default text is still label. Once like we execute or once this load event get execute, it will manipulate the text of label to this welcome to my app. So you can see welcome to my app. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me close it and I'm putting a debugger here. Okay. What? Yeah. Debugger is like while debugging the application, we can execute the application in two modes. One is the debugging mode. Second one is in publish mode. Publish here you can also see we right now we have selected debugging mode. Debugging mode means to say when we are like developing the application and we want to test something like this, we want to test
Mm.
the logic, we can debug the logic using a debuggers. If I switch to release mode, the mode means to say publish mode, then debuggers will not 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 work.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now we are using debugging mode. Okay, let me change it to web browser to Firefox. I'm using Firefox right now, set as default. So basically I just change it because Chrome is opening on my second screen. Okay, so you can see
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
we are on default.aspx. Still page is in loading state,
Loading.
right? Yeah, it's loading,
Mm.
and we can see like we are here right now. So this page load event get executed first. So it's before
Mm.
loading any control, first page load event get executed. Okay, we need to just press F10. F10 means to say if you want to debug line by line,
Next step.
press,
Mm.
yeah, it will like move to the next step. If you press F5, then it will like
Go
execute,
inside.
right. Okay, so I'm saying F10. So even you can check right now when you hover the
Yeah.
mouse. So it's saying the label is the label text is label,
Next is level.
right? So when I said okay F10, now this operation is completed. Now again I hover it. Now it's saying label text is welcome to my app. So like this way we can debug each line of code. Okay, I said F5. So now we can see welcome to my app. Okay, so this is like the page load event, and we can say the property. We can also manipulate the property of any control inside the load event. The condition is only this control supposed to be available on the page, and it's supposed to be at run at server. Okay, now I want to provide a logic when I click on this button. I want to check name is John, address is US, and age supposed to be greater than 18. This logic. Then I will like want to print, okay, this is valid user something. Okay, let's take one more, just adding a new row below, and logic. We can also do like, by clicking this, so it will perform the step for us in the background. So in the first one, I did the manual. Col span 2 means to say I am combining the two columns into one column. But for the last one, I just simply use right click and say merge it. Okay, I'm here taking one more label. I want to change the label text based on this button click. Okay, so now just you need to double click on this button. Okay, just go to the properties of this button first. We'll understand that. So these are the properties. So property means so that we can change the text size, color, everything, right? We can control the visibility, everything, right? So this is the
Mm.
property part. So here you can see like the event symbol.
Yeah.
Just click on
Okay.
this. So this button can perform these two actions, command and click.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the action. We can say button can perform what action? It can perform a click action. Similar to this text box as well. If you go to the properties and check the the text. So text can say can perform text change event, means to say whenever I'm typing in a background, this event get executed. Maybe on during the
Mm.
typing we can provide a custom logic to check, okay,
Mm.
whatever we are typing, that is correct or not. Maybe in case of email, I want to just, sometime you start typing it saying, okay, incorrect email ID, or the length is too short, or
Yeah.
supposed to be at the rate, or numeric there. So that is basically, we can say the text change event is executing in background. Okay, we'll check this event as well. Let's do with button first. Okay, so to two things, just go to the properties, go to the event, and here on a click, just double click it. Okay, so this code will get generated inside your .cs file. We are still on default.cs file. So this is, now we can say this is a click event for button. When we
Okay.
click the button, this method get executed. This is basically a method only. Okay, so okay, now I'm going to say okay, I want to fetch the name first, and just want to say, okay, this is valid name. If the user entered something, I want to say the name is valid. Okay, I'm taking a string variable saying underscore name equals the ID of text box is txt name. Okay, I'm fetching its text. Okay, now I'm saying name dot length is greater than 0, then we'll say lbl info dot text name is valid. Okay, saving everything. Okay, let add the debugger here as well. So load event is executed. Now I'm saying, okay, without entering anything, I'm just going to click on this button. So when I click, see, now we have inside this submit.click event. Okay, so the text is blank, F10, F10. So we can test, okay. So label, so the condition is false, so nothing get changed on the label. See, okay. Now I'm saying Smith and submit this. So now we are inside this if loop. So now we are changing the text. So it's saying, oh, I change it
Yes, yeah.
here. Yeah, okay, wrong, you know. What is this label ID? Okay, we didn't change it. Okay, let's LBL2, just LBL2. Removing this text box, debugger. Smith, submit, see, name is valid.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if I remove it and say sub again button, submit button, submit. So, okay, we didn't
We
provide
haven't
the L,
any wrote any exception.
yeah, else part. Let's change this text for this. Okay, so name is invalid. Says Smith, name is valid. Okay, but every click you can see a flickering, right? See, it's
Yeah,
basically we are basically its entire page gets reload.
reload.
Yeah, so this reload means to say not just this label is getting reload. The entire page means this text box, this address box, age, everything, whatever the control we have available right now on this page, it's again rendering on client side again. So that's why ASP.NET or is heavy as comparative to MVC. So this is the main reason many people switch from switched from ASP.NET to MVC because it's the page is very heavy. Right now we have just three control. If we start designing a grid, multiple grid or multiple pages, then the page load time will, it will be uh,
More.
not good, or we can say it's like page become very heavy and the loading time will be increased. Okay, yeah, even we can also see inside, uh, uh, not inside this. See, the request is basically this, when we hit this submit button. Okay, so the request type is post. Okay, it's take 7 millisecond. Again, I'm sending. Okay, it's reloading every time. It's not saying, yeah, it's reloading, obviously. It's refreshing the page again and again. Okay, so now this time it's become 10 seconds, right? So this is way. So we have like caching concept as well, just to reduce the loading time. So the controls, so that the data, if we don't want to fetch the data again and again from the server, we can use a caching as well. We'll discuss in further upcoming sessions. Okay, so this is the one thing. Or okay, let's check with the text change property. If I want to, apply a logic while typing, just double click again. So now we have this text changed event. Okay, now I'm saying, let's say string name equals to txt name dot text. I'm again checking the length. It's less than, now it's saying less than 4. Okay, less than 4. Must be 4 character. Okay, I'm saying Sam. Okay, we do change label to. Okay, I think we need to change one more property. Yeah, auto post back, that is false. The auto post back means to say we need to send data whenever we are typing, we need to send data to server. So the auto post back is false. Auto post back false means to say it will not execute this event. So we need to, for in case of button, let's check. That is by default it is true because it is we don't have auto post back for this. Okay, we need to enable this auto post back to true. Okay. It's not changing the label, but we can see the reloading,
Yeah.
So what is the logic we written? can say string.empty. Okay, see the name length must be 4. So I say Smith, so it's blank then. If I remove to SIM and just to focus, move from name to address, then it's saying name length must be 4. So it's basically done by this text change event. Okay. So like this, we have two things. One is a property. The second one is the action. Okay, the data binding is like we want to bind, we have a model or we can a DTO object and want to bind the data directly from there, then we can use this data binding. Okay, so it is not mandatory. You can every time you need to, okay, let's say I have another button. This button, and every time you need to, there are two ways we can double click, then this event will get created. And the second one is you can create your own, method, and we can provide that
Yeah.
method to this event, this click event.
Cool.
Okay, but there are like few condition. Like you can see when we double click on the event, this parameter supposed to be there inside your custom method as well. So
Okay.
sender and event arg is mandatory, parameters for event. Okay, or the best way is you can generate and just rename it. Let's say
Okay.
custom event. Let's say this custom event. So here you can see now custom event. Just select this. So now this button is now associated with this custom event. When you double click it, the focus automatically come here, comes here. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So these are all are the standard controls. Like we have text box, label, radio buttons, right? The radio button, like let's say, let me give an example of radio button as well. Let's say gender and like male, female. So the purpose of radio button is single selection, right? So let's check it. So I can select male or female, but right now we can select both. Okay, reason is right now the both radio buttons are not correlated with each other. So for to correlate with each other, we need to set in single category. Okay, that is called a group name. Okay, I provide a name like group name is like let's say gender. Copy this and pass this group name to second radio button as well. So now both are in single group, then it will give us single selection behavior. Now we can select male or female. Okay. So this is the one feature of a radio button. Okay, we have a radio button list as well. Radio button list, like radio button list means to say, let's say data is coming from somewhere. Let's say okay, let me, let's say I have radio button list, say property ID food list, say unbound. Unbound means to say it is we can provide data to this radio button list control by choosing a data source. I mean, data source means to say from database, from any database, or maybe we have some file, XML file or a sitemap file, or from the database we can fetch that information, and that information will be listed inside this radio button list. Okay, and the second option is we can add item manually one by one, like this. Let pizza, just quickly giving some uh, let's say this 3 3 1, and I want pizza as to be selected by default, so we can select, make it select true, so like this. Right, so this is the the radio button list control. So we can also provide let's say logical, means to say the data to the list logically as well, means to say we can write a custom logic. Let's say on a page load event we have uh, let's say array. List and say food list is the object of the ID of uh, radio button list. So we can say food list dot data source equals food. Okay. Data source, I think we have say data bind. List dot data bind. Yeah, see, pizza, pasta, and rice. Right. So data source is a property to pass the source. So it can be a array list, array, or the collection. And the data bind is basically bind the source with food list. Means to say with the control. So this is the data bind is mandatory calling of data bind method is mandatory. So we
Okay.
did this on again a page load event. We can do it on button click or something like
Okay.
the conditionally, like if users select want to like a continental, vegetarian and non-veg something, like we have option. It's say like okay, they want so Chinese, select the Chinese
Mm.
category, then we want to populate the
Okay.
pizza, so we can do that as well.
Okay.
Okay, so right now we just implemented on page load event. Okay, and we can discuss right now what is the most important control. Checkbox and checkbox list is again very
Mm.
similar to radio button, right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay, yeah, hidden fields. Yes, this is again very important data. Sometimes like few fields are hidden in our form. We do not want to show that to the end user. It's basically to track something from user side, right? Maybe let's say I added this hidden field here. Txt hidden, right? So here you can see very limited option. We do not have like uh the property same as the text box. Again a field, but it's a hidden field. So we have like a value. We can change the value conditionally based on the, let's say, submit button. I want to based on this clicking, I want to
Mm-hmm.
track how many times user click on this submit button. So we can use this hidden field. Let's say that initial value is 0. The value is 0. Okay, and based on click, whenever user click, I want to change its value. Okay, first I take it as count equals txt hidden dot value. Okay, and I just convert it into integer to int32. Okay, and I just want to do count plus equals 1, increasing a count and reassigning its value. It's the out COUNT. Okay, and okay, I need to convert to value. It's a string type. Okay, so on every click, I'm increasing it, and on every page load event, I want to show the count as well. I'm using this label to display the count. LBL info dot text equals txt hidden dot value. So whatever the value is, it will be on label as a text. So this is, we can see, our hidden logic. User will not see any text box for this. So the initial value is 0. So whenever like I'm clicking 2, 3, 4, 5,
Okay.
6, right, it's increasing. So just
Mm.
to track this clicking, I hide a text field or a hidden field in my form. So based on that, I'm tracking this. Okay, let's see inside this uh, the HTML code. So this is the entire HTML code. So let's find that hidden field. That is hypothesizing inside this. next to this. Yeah, here it is. Hidden input type, ID, txt hidden. It's hidden, the value is 8. On the next reload, it will be 8. Okay.
Mm.
So this is the this is also very important in .NET. Or okay, and okay, these all are the standard controls. Standard control to we have like categories. So the data control is when we perform a database connectivity. I want to show the data list or data view, a grid, right? Then we use this data control. This is a validation control. I'll start tomorrow with the validation controls on the same form. Let's say maybe a different form. We want
Mm.
to put some validation. So how we can perform the validation on ASP.NET. Okay, we'll cover the validation and navigation as well. So
Okay.
navigation is how we can design the menu, side menu or something. Okay, the login
Okay.
is controls are related to login or authentications. Then we can use this login control. So this is we can say pre-designed template. Let's say I'm adding a new page. I can show you the output. New item, performance and login. Okay, and I'm going to log in, design, say login. See, username, password, remember me, login button, everything is here. It's a template, we can say. I just drag this control on my form, so this login box is there. So same with the change password we have, like for the change password, everything is already there. We can use this as well. Okay. Okay, so for this type of control, we need to understand, okay, how we can deal with this kind of control. So here we have the events, different events. Cancel button is there, so we have the cancel button event. We have change password, then change password button is there, like this. So this two event is relevant to these two buttons. For this property password, so there will be a you know need to identify. Okay, change password image button, cancel button. Okay, these are all the text. We will discuss in detail when we reach on this login panel. Okay, okay, I think that's it for today. So tomorrow we'll start with the validation control and we'll try to cover validation, navigation. Okay, we'll cover the life cycle as well. So this load event is one of the event for from page lifecycle event. So we have multiple uh, events, like we have pre-init, then init, then let me show you some image. Lifecycle of ASP.NET page. Yeah, here you can see. Too slow. Yeah, I have opened on another this. Okay, yeah, you can see. So basically the life cycle start with the pre-init. So this is the very first event execute on the page. Then we have init, then init completed, then on on
Mm.
preload. Yeah. Then we have load event. So this is the load event. We are
Okay.
yeah, we are like using page load event. Okay. Then we have post back, then load completed, pre-render, on state, save state completed, render method, then unload. Unload is that finally we are like moving one from one page to next page. Then it's execute load event, unload event. Like a
Okay.
pre-init is something like we want to apply some themes on our page. So before loading the page, we want to implement the theming or styling on page. Then we use this pre-init. Okay, you can go through with this link as well. I think yeah, in detail they are like provided some details. But is
Okay.
load event you can read out these things.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, Diksha, I think that's it for today. We'll continue tomorrow from here only.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.